You're organizing your finances and you come across an old credit card you haven't used in years. The first impulse is often to close the account. It feels like a smart, responsible step toward financial simplicity. But before you make that call, it's important to understand what's happening behind the scenes. That simple act of closing a card can unintentionally harm your credit score. It might sound strange, but what seems like a tidy move could end up costing you. Let me break down the two critical reasons why closing a credit card can backfire. More importantly, I'll explain what you should do instead to protect your financial standing. The most significant factor to consider is your credit utilization ratio. While the name sounds technical, the idea is straightforward. This ratio accounts for about 30% of your credit score, making it the second most important element. It simply measures how much of your available credit you're using. Here's a practical example. Imagine you have two credit cards. Card A has a $7,000 limit with a $2,000 balance. Card B has a $3,000 limit and a zero balance. Your total available credit is $10,000 and your total balance is $2,000. Your credit utilization is your total balance divided by your total limit, which comes out to 20%, $2,000 divided by $10,000. That's a healthy ratio. Experts advise keeping it below 30%, and ratios under 10% are even better. Now imagine you close card B, the one you don't use. You're not just getting rid of plastic, you're erasing that card's $3,000 credit limit from your profile. Your total available credit immediately drops from $10,000 to $7,000. Even though your balance is still $2,000, your utilization ratio suddenly jumps to nearly 29%, $2,000 divided by $7,000. Without any change in your spending, you now appear riskier to lenders. By closing the unused card, you've lost a significant portion of your available credit, and your score is likely to dip as a result. By the way, if you're now wondering where your own score stands, I have good news. You can check it right now in just a few minutes with a trusted credit monitoring service. You'll get your full credit report, FICO score, and even real-time alerts for any major changes, all in one place. And here's the best part. It's practically free. I've put my favorite service in the video description, so check it out after this video. The second reason to hesitate before closing a card relates to the age of your credit history. This factor determines about 15% of your credit score. A long, stable credit history demonstrates to lenders that you have extensive experience managing debt responsibly. Here's a common misconception. Many believe that closing an old card immediately shortens their credit history. The good news is, that's not quite how it works. An account closed in good standing will typically remain on your credit report for up to 10 years and will continue to be factored into the age of your accounts during that time. The potential damage comes later. When that old closed account eventually falls off your report a decade from now, the average age of your accounts can drop suddenly. If that 10-year-old card was your oldest account, its removal could significantly shorten your credit history overnight, making your profile appear less established, while closing a newer card has a smaller impact. Closing your very first credit account can be a significant misstep for the long-term health of your score. So, does closing a credit card affect your score? Yes, it absolutely can. It has the potential to raise your credit utilization ratio and, down the line, shorten the average age of your credit history. While the impact might be temporary or minor, even a small drop in your score can lead to higher interest rates if you're applying for a mortgage or auto loan. What then should you do with an old, unused card? Unless it carries a high annual fee that provides no value, the best course of action is often to keep it open. You don't need to use it often. Consider making one small recurring purchase every few months, like a streaming subscription, and set up autopay to pay the balance in full. This keeps the account active, preserves your credit limit, and continues to build your positive payment history. Making sound financial choices is about knowing the rules of the system. And when it comes to old credit cards, keeping them open is very often the strategic move.